This week in gaming, Bioshock 4 is in trouble. Guitar Hero might make a comeback in some shape, form, or fashion, and Nintendo is flipping delusional. This is the Nerd Cave Newz, and I am one of your hosts, Zach Dykes, joined by my good friend and co-host, Derek Daniel. Derek, how's it going, my man?
Good, man. It's good to be back. You know, it's good to have you back. I know you've been gone for 2 weeks. I took last week off for unforeseen work circumstances. I had to do some overnights because one of our sister stores had been neglected by the previous management. So when the new manager came in here, he's like, I need help. So that's what we did. So but that's neither here nor there. So glad to be back. Glad we're both finally back together. I know I held it down 2 weeks ago. I did what I could. You know, if they hated the show, I take full responsibility.
Well, I appreciate you holding down the fort, and welcome everybody. Amy says, "We back, y'all."
I know in the new place, looking chic, if I must say.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm debating on how to like decorate and design and all of that. Like I've just got we've got enough room to put another black shelf, and Amy's like, "Ooh, another bookcase. Don't mind if I do."
More activities.
Yeah, so I'm excited to get it kind of placed and then kind of design from there. And I was talking to Amy. It's like I've got like all of these signatures and like cool art pieces that are just like sat in a box from the last place. Like I never put it up, and it's like this time around I want to like at least in front of me, and other people might not see it, but at least I can enjoy it in front of me and everything. So yeah, I'm excited.
So good deal, man. Glad you're finally in a nice situation. Glad you're finally unpacked and somewhat lived in.
Well, I wouldn't say unpacked. This room is probably the most unpacked, and then the bedroom.
Yeah.
The rest of the house is still in boxes. It is still straight up in boxes, which is fine. It's been a long row to hoe. But hey, we're here. We're excited. It's going to be a good time. Dan says, I'm thinking I will start looking for a new place in about a year or two. Now, Dan, are you going to do the rent out and then buy a new place? Like, is that the plan?
Buy?
Well, it's like he's got a place, he owns it. He's like, is he going to rent that out and do the real estate game? Yeah, we live amongst the boxes. Yeah. I speak for the trees.
The dead trees.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I'm excited. I'm glad that we're here. Get to make a new home, get to make a new studio. I'm excited about that. Like, of course, like we're renting, so it's like I'm limited to what I can and can't do here. But I'm excited.
You could do some other things. It'll just cost you fees when you move out.
Well, I have a personal relationship with the owner of the place, so yeah. I don't want to, spit in anyone's eye on that one.
Yeah.
But guys, let us know how you are down in the comments below, what you've been up to as we jump into our first segment that we love each and every week. We talk about what you've been playing. So, Derek, I know you dropped a little bit of hinty. What's up, Mikey?
What up, Mike?
Let us know what y'all been playing. Derek, what have you been playing?
So, I finally have finished the main story of Assassin's Creed Origins. There you go. It was a satisfying ending for the most part. Because this was the origin of how the Brotherhood started. Outside of how the symbol was created, it was a nice ending. I feel like the final, the ultimate, the lion, the ultimate head of the order, little lackluster because they built up all these other characters and whatnot, and they touted these pretty much the two lieutenants toward the end, the whole sequence with getting Cleopatra, Julia introducing Caesar and all that. Having that iconic Caesar moment was pretty fun to do. Yep. But it just felt like the main, the Flavius was just it felt like he came and went, and I'm like, okay, cool, like here's my main target, and there it just didn't feel like you built a connection with the final villain. Like for all the talk of like getting revenge for them killing your son, and like yes, the order itself was your main enemy, but like the leader just didn't feel like you had that connection with him. It would have been one thing had he been in the background like helping you in a certain aspect, and then it turns out he was the ultimate betrayal, but to just get introduced. But I digress. I do like the tragedy of like it's almost like Romeo and Juliet without the death between Bayek and Aya, where it's like they love each other, they know they love each other, they're meant to be together, but destiny has called them to do other things. And they didn't really annul their marriage or like divorce, but they were like, we just can't do this. But through creating the brotherhood and managing separate branches and communicating like through letters is the way they keep in touch, and like the way they just keep kind of that spark kindling like a little bit, just in case they ever decide to get back together after they've completed their life's goal. But I thought it was a satisfying ending. I did start the first DLC, the Hidden Ones, which does give you a warning. It's like, because you can start it at level 38. And it's like, hey, just so you know, this takes four years after the events of the main story. Are you sure you want to start? I'm like, yeah. And then that makes sense because you see him in that assassin's garb, like and I'll be honest with you, that's probably one of the best outfits in the game. Like when you get in that DLC, because it's like it's so chic, it's gold, place. So it's a smaller map, obviously, it's a DLC, but I played it missions. It's all right so far. But yeah, the ending of the main story, it had its ups and downs, but overall I was satisfied with how the main story ended.
Yeah, I want to say, like, I remember feeling the same way about the last villain. It was like some of the ones leading up to that, like, had way more of, and we talked about this on the show, an emotional impact, or like the Jackal, like that still sticks in my mind so well because of the gameplay mechanics, like the way they like she was attacking and everything.
You mean
like
the hyena?
Yeah, the hyena. Sorry, not the jackal. The hyena. And it's like for that to stick out to me after playing God knows how many video games since then.
Yeah.
Was great, but I do remember the final boss being kind of lackluster, and being something where it's like we had way stronger, like when it was revealed that I can't remember the dude's name, but he was one of the people that you were hunting down and everything, and you were like having dinner with his family and everything.
Oh, the lizard. Yeah.
And it's like that had way more, emotional resonance than the end and everything. So
the only good thing about that fight was the fact of that, he uses that apple of Eden, and then like the fight sequence itself was more entertaining than just the interaction.
Yeah. I feel like it's like it has to happen. The final boss has to have an apple of Eden. In like almost every Assassin's Creed game, it's like you fight the freaking Pope, and then in the first one you fight the master that
the master of it was like the master of that order or whatever. So
so it's like it's just like part of the ship, part of the crew essentially. Which Black Flag, will we get a remake? Matt Ryan,
we'll see.
Almost getting sued by Ubisoft.
I'll say for giving hints of all things. It's like, shut up. I'm like, Ubisoft, you leak stuff worse than your people. Like, shut up.
Yeah, you do fight the Pope in one of the Assassin's Creed games.
I don't remember if it's 2 or Brotherhood, but it's one of those 2.
Yeah, and he's not a pushover either.
No.
Because he's literally using like the apple of Eden, like gives you like superhuman like abilities, and you're able to like teleport and do all these kind of crazy things. So not the normal Pope you would think.
No.
He's not in this Pope mobile. For me, I haven't really played much, but I have played a little bit of solo Leveling Arise, of course.
Three things are absolute: death, taxes, and Zach playing solo leveling.
And they did a thing with this K-pop group called Idol, IDLE, I/DLE. So there was like some characters that you got from that, but they're currently like they're going further in the story, like the manga. It's past where the show is right now, which is nice. But they're doing like a what if Gina became a hunter.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So she's like a water mage, and she's pretty strong. She's
Runs in the family.
Yeah, it definitely runs in the family and everything. So I'm enjoying it. Definitely like they're keeping it fresh, which is nice. Constantly adding more stuff to it and everything. And it's just like they're doing like a summer kind of event. They're keeping it fresh, and because like any times when you go to like any of these gotcha kind of games, like if they don't keep it like interesting, it's easy to fall out of it. So
Right.
So it is not the group from the K-pop Demon Hunters movie, which is amazing. Derek, if you've not watched K-pop Demon Hunters, absolutely amazing. Watch it on Netflix, everybody. The music is great. The story is phenomenal. The K-pop Demon Hunters has like a few different groups that are in there, twice as the actual group that's in there. But the girls that do like Huntrix, which is the fake K-pop group, they're like three different artists. Rose is one. I can't remember the other names. I was listening to Rose earlier, but we've definitely, me and Amy have definitely gotten to K-pop a lot lately because of K-pop Demon Hunters, because it was really, really good, as Dan points out. Derek, I think you would enjoy it.
Okay.
It's great. I will tout that movie hardcore. We'll tout that movie hardcore, and the soundtrack is great. They're making an Oscar run as well
nice.
on it. So yeah, it was like we've listened to the soundtrack and other actual groups. Yeah, like Blackpink, Twice. There's a lot. It's a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff, Derek. I'm really enjoying it. So
is that where the My Little Soda Pop comes from?
Yes, the Saja Boys is the fake band from that. So you've definitely definitely heard that.
Yep, about to say I've sent you a few videos of that. That's you.
Yeah, like the most unhinged moments from an anime when someone's dying is like My Little Soda Pop, and someone dies.
Yeah,
I was like, Derek. Yeah, the JJK edit is quite rough on that one.
I think that's like one of the first ones I sent you.
Yeah. Do the shoulder thing. But yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters is really great. And but yeah, so that's literally all I've been playing, the little bit that I have. Hopefully this coming up week, I've definitely, because of Greg Miller, I want to play Ann Roger. I know it'll take like
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen
take like an hour. It's like $3.99 on Steam, and I just want to try it out,
Yeah.
But that's all I care about.
We'll see.
That's all I care about,
Maybe next week.
Maybe next week, y'all. Nate, I think you'll enjoy it. It is a good movie. And I'm hoping that they make more of it, because the story, like I said, K-pop Demon Hunter, the story is great, the music's great, the acting is great. There's good comedic moments, there's good action. Just overall, like the pacing of the movie is really good. And what's crazy, Derek, is there was so much content that got like cut from this movie that it was going to be like 3 hours long originally.
Holy cow.
There was like 30 songs that they had made for the movie, and they were like, oh, we got to cut it down or whatever. And I'm like, I want the 3 hour long version.
No, because of the success of it, they'll do like a Snyder cut version, that guaranteed.
Yeah. So, That's all I care for, everybody. That's all I want. Give me my 30 other songs, and let's just have a good time with
Yeah.
some K-pop Demon Hunter. And what's crazy is like the Saja Boys and Huntrix, like these fake bands have like topped the chart where BTS and other like real bands could
Yeah.
not top like the American charts here.
That's insane.
Yeah. Dan says, I heard unconfirmed rumors they would be doing 2 more movies. If that is true, I believe each movie will probably focus on the background of one of the band members. That would be dope because it's like we got Rumi, and it would be nice to see like Zoe, and then I can't remember the redheaded girl's name, the one with the deeper voice. What is her name? Huntrix members. Mira. I knew it was something with an M. Mira. So, but guys, we could talk K-pop Demon Hunter. Maybe we should review K-pop Demon Hunter on Eat Sleep Anime, Derek.
Maybe. We'll see.
That's a no. Like, if y'all don't know that about Derek yet, we'll see is a no.
I've already got ideas for the next episode that might take but we've got another month and a half to decide.
Yeah, that is a no from Derek. I'm just letting y'all know. Oh, yeah, I'll see if I'm gonna move down there. I'll see. Yeah. Yep.
Still holding that against me, are we?
Oh yeah. Always. Guys, let's get into what is and what forever will be the gaming discussion this week. And first up, Bioshock 4 reportedly getting a narrative overhaul amid development struggles.
So, a recent internal review at 2K Games found the story for Bioshock 4 wasn't strong enough, leading to a full narrative rewrite. The leadership at Cloud Chamber has also changed. Studio head Kelly Gilmore was removed, and creative director Hogarth de la Plante has been moved into a publishing role. Staff were told the studio needs to become, quote, more agile and efficient, which has led to concerns about possible layoffs. Excuse me. On top of that, a planned remake of the original Bioshock was quietly canceled earlier in 2025. Despite being announced back in 2019, there's still no release date in sight. Rumors mentioned Unreal Engine 5, open world design, and a 1960s Antarctic city called Borealis, but nothing's confirmed. 2K has said, quote, right now we have a good game, but we are committed to delivering a great one, showing they're pushing for something better despite the setbacks. Again, like, yeah, the supposed Bioshock remake being canceled, does suck. Because, I would like to see like an updated, I know they did like a remastered collection of all 3 Bioshock games on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One early on in that life cycle, but just to see how it would look like on a PlayStation 5, on a Series X and S, on just whatever higher end device that you play on, it is sucks, but at the same time, this is more of the focus is Bioshock 4. And I don't know how you take this. I mean, granted, yes, they're not canceling the game. There is a leadership change that, it is now, I forget how long it's been in development, or the supposedly it's been in development for Bioshock 4, but I think 2K is like, look, we're not canceling it. We still believe in it. We want this franchise to come back in a big way and make it impactful. But now it's time to get it, crap or get off the pot. Essentially, it's like we need you to do something rather than just drag your knuckles.
So Bioshock 4 was officially announced December 9th, 2019, when they introduced the new studio, which of course is Cloud Chamber.
Right.
So it's been quite a while. Like, it's been long enough.
About 6 years.
Yeah. That's long enough to have at least a
trailer.
That you should be like, maybe not Bioshock, because it's usually a little bit more heavy on, graphics and storytelling and everything, but you should be closer to the end of the development cycle. True. Like, for them to not only get rid of the game director the studio head and the creative director
Right.
says a lot.
Correct.
And it's like, okay, was it that bad? Were they peeing in the wind, if you will?
Right.
Or is it that Kelly Gilmore and Hogarth de la Plante, like their vision was different than what 2K Games had for the game?
Maybe. Or and it's like, were they not, was it not up to snuff, or were they doing good things? They were just taking way too long with it as well. And it's like, like it, and they were. Now, maybe, the term live service gets thrown around a lot. Like, was 2K pushing live service, and Kelly and them were like, maybe let's not do it, or vice versa? Were they pushing for live service, and 2K was like, all right, we'll see. And then it's like, yeah, this ain't it. This ain't it, Chief. We need you out. But again, I think because now whether 2K wants a big splash because Borderlands 4, GTA 6 is in the pipeline. Borderlands 4 is actually fixing to come out pretty soon, actually.
Yeah.
2K wants to come back in a big way, it seems like, and in an industry within the last calendar year that is, when they say, oh, we're struggling making this X game or whatever it is, we're going to cancel it, lay off people, or shut down studios. Like, for them to just change leadership but still keep the game alive says that they want to believe in this franchise, or say that they want to give this a fair shake. So I don't know. I think the changes will be positive, but we'll see. Because again, we've just gotten a verbal confirmation. Essentially, we haven't even seen a trailer.
Yeah. Dan brings up a great point. We'll see. Sounds like I've heard that recently.
Thanks, Dan.
I agree. Like we don't know how many times the studio head, the creative director have been called on the carpet and said, hey, you need to X, Y, and Z. And hopefully it was not a knee-jerk reaction where it's like, oh, this is awful, and there was no oversight, and then it was like, okay, we've got to scrap everything and blah 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 blah, this, that, and the other. The thing that gives me really big concern about this is the quote, more agile and efficient. That is used a lot when a developer is going to be meet a deadline. And also they're going to cull resources. They're going to fire people. They're going to lay off people. The agile thing. And it's like, this to me is saying, all right, you need Cloud Chamber. You need to get your ducks in a row, and you need to show us something that is on par with where Bioshock needs to be. You've had almost 6 years to be developing this, and where you're at right now is not acceptable. We're going to remove the studio head, put somebody else in charge, move the creative director. We don't
even have a logo. Like, like most, thinking about it, like a lot of games, like even if a game's far out, though, like when they announced Ragnarok, all they did was they just gave them the Gregorian choir music and gave the logo, and that was it. That's all they needed. We haven't even seen that.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything. We've heard hints and all of this, and it's like they've canceled, like you said, the original remake of Bioshock earlier this year, and it's like, all right, where are we at on this? And when you also look at this, 2K is also putting out Judas, which is made by Kevin Levine, which is the creator of Bioshock.
I forgot. I remember, obviously I know Ken Levine and Judas are doing, but I didn't know 2K was publishing it. That's very tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah, and Judas is supposed to be coming out quite soon, if I'm remembering that right.
Supposedly this year, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to hit 2025. But I think it's like, okay, Bioshock, you don't have Ken Levine in there. Judas is coming out, which is going to set the standard for this generation of what a Bioshock game could be.
Right.
And I just feel like we're setting up Cloud, what is it, Cloud, Flare, Cloud Chamber, not up for success. And it's like,
right.
Derek, my question is this: do you think that Bioshock should be a every 5-6 years franchise, or a kind of once in a generation thing that we get?
I think the unpopular answer is I think a once in a generation thing. Like, I know we've got the first three relatively close together. I mean, they were several. I
Yeah.
mean, 1 and 2 were kind of closer together, but also 2 was made by a separate studio within 2K. But I mean, the first one came out in what, 07, 08, and then Infinite came out in 2013. So it was about a 5-year gap. So it was about, and it came out, I think Infinite still came out on PS3 and 360.
Yep.
But it did come to PS4 and Xbox One eventually as well. I know this is different. It's not Ken Levine working on 4 at this, I know he didn't work on 2 either, but First and Infinite were so special and so unique and so different and differentiated so much in storytelling that I think having this gap and like making it more impactful, making it more of like a once a generation type thing will keep that specialness to it. But that's all depending on Cloud Chamber's shoulders and if they're able to capture that magic of 1 and Infinite as well. Because we're talking about it like it's a special franchise, and it was. But now with Ken Levine not at the helm, it's like, what is this game? What is this franchise now? Like, how will it go? How will it be told going forward? That's what that's the legacy Cloud Chamber is living up to. And if they hit cool, then keep it being special and keep it like every 6 years or like once a console generation. I don't care. If it's good, no one will bat an eye when it comes out because they know what to expect at this point.
Yeah. I equate it to how Halo and Gears of War has been handled post their original teams. Cliffy B not being part of Gears of War after 3, and then, Halo with Bungie and everything. And I feel like Gears suffered in Gears 4, but Gears 5, they definitely turned it around. Yes. Halo, on the other hand, like Infinite was better, but you had 4 and 5 that were just and then really bad. And it's like with Bioshock, it's like it is a franchise that did well, but isn't like gangbusters in sales.
Is it up there with like the GTAs, the Call of Duties, that kind of like Call of Duty is just the money makers at this point. They're not really like, all you gotta do is slap it. They don't really care what's in it or what number it is at this point. Like we literally got back-to-back Black Ops games. Like we're on the 7th Black Ops game now. It's like no one cares. They just slap Call of Duty, make it interesting, and it prints money. But same thing with like the Madden and NBA 2K series. But again, like GTA, like it's very hard to implement Rockstar, but at the same time, like that kind of impact, look at all the PlayStation franchise, like even God of War, like you said, the OG Gears trilogy, the OG Halo trilogy, like can it live up to a legacy of that?
Yeah, and it's hard because again, the original people aren't there to do that. And I just looked up, thanks to ChatGPT 5, which is out now. August 2024, the Bioshock game series has reached over 43 million copies sold worldwide, which is a great number. But when you spread that across 3 games and a remaster, it's like that's not as much as you would hope for in this big of a franchise. And I think we hold it in this high regards because of the storytelling, especially 1 and Infinite. And I think maybe, because we're talking here, literally, it's like the narrative overhaul. Maybe that was the big thing. It's like, hey,
maybe
this is not living up to what we need it to be. This story is lackluster, and I think a lot of times we think of more of the gameplay, but maybe it's like the writing just sucked.
Maybe. So, I mean, only time will tell, but also like it is wishful thinking what you just said. At the same time, let's be honest, they have shareholders and investors to answer to, so
Yeah.
they will probably care about the narrative to an extent, but at another extent, like, again, like agile and more fast paced, it's like, we promised our investors something, so we need you to put this game out ASAP.
Yeah. Yeah. And that goes to Michael's comments here. Call of Duty is rinse and repeat every year,
Mm-hmm.
but still make billions, so they aren't going to change anything.
Correct.
Yeah, and that's unfortunately the state of a lot of AAA gaming right now. Is we're not going to necessarily innovate on new franchises or take a chance. We want things that are concrete. We see it with Xbox canceling Perfect Dark, them getting rid of Tango Gameworks, and, Redfall
Canceling
should,
Everwild.
yeah, Everwild, Redfall should have never came out. But it's like we see that over and over again. PlayStation, went heavy on live service. Now they're pulling back and canceling a lot of those.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, Embracer Group, definitely put themselves over a barrel, in the last year or two with trying to buy so many studios and then not having the funding for them.
Right.
So it's like everybody wants a surefire thing, but it's like art is not surefire. Gaming is not surefire. Any kind of creative endeavor is not like guaranteed to be successful,
Right.
and that's just the thing. And when you have something like Call of Duty, Fortnite, when Roblox, when you have something like that, it's like, oh, this is what everything else should be, and then you're just an imitator.
And even some of the stuff that's great for you doesn't do the same as like your crown jewel. Like, again, back to the example of 2K games, GTA, like GTA like 5 is probably sitting on the throne by itself in terms of money. Like, only Fortnite can probably sniff it. But even Red Dead Redemption 2, like when it came out, it did gangbusters, but the online didn't even sniff what GTA Online did. So I mean, again, you can make a successful game, but it doesn't do great as like your best work, essentially.
Yeah. And unfortunately, you're always going to be compared to the last thing that you did, your last performance, your last game.
Then that's referring to sports.
Yeah. And it's like it's hard to top that every time. And especially if a developer is trying to do something new, innovative, they're trying something different than what they've been known for. Like, think about Guerrilla Games, dude. Like, they were known as the Killzone, group, and then they come out with Horizon. Like, them. PlayStation was in such a different place at that point in time where they trusted their developers and they allowed Guerrilla Games to do something totally different. And again, Killzone wasn't doing gangbusters by any stretch of the imagination. Like, it was a good looking game, but it wasn't impressive gameplay or story. But it was like, okay, we could, make you more agile and efficient, and you could keep making shooters that, make it more a AA kind of studio, or let's take a chance and let's see giant robots that you fight that are dinosaurs.
Right. And now you can argue it's one of PlayStation's top studios now because of the 2 successful games.
Yeah. And it's like, when you're at the top, having your people's back when they're trying to make something creative is really important, being a creative myself and everything. And it's like, that's hard to come by. And with finances getting, much more strangled in these corporate places where they want guarantees, it's a lot harder in this day and age. So let's move to our next story, everybody. Let's talk about a little bit of Guitar Hero, which I never thought I'd be, talking about Guitar Hero in like a modern sense. Guitar Hero veterans announced plans for new rhythm game revival.
What if your favorite Guitar Hero creators are back and building something new? The original minds behind Guitar Hero and DJ Hero have launched a new studio, Red Octane Games. This marks the first time the Red Octane name has been used since it was shut down by Activision in 2010. At the helm is Simon Ebinger, a former production director on the Guitar Hero series and a longtime Blizzard exec, with original Red Octane founders Charles and Kai Huang returning as strategic advisors. But this isn't a Guitar Hero reboot, it's a spiritual successor aiming to reinvent the rhythm game experience. The team is focused on creating something more emotional, more connected, and rooted in the pure joy of making music. The game is now in early production with a full reveal expected in 2025. It's backed by Embracer Group's free mode division, giving it creative freedom and strong support. After years of fan-driven passion projects like Clone Hero, this marks the first major studio comeback for rhythm games, and it's being led by the people who started it all. And again, like you said, we never thought in 2025 we'd be talking about it, because the last time, whether it was just to retain the IP or like try and capture the flame, or letting lightning strike lightning in a bottle twice. We're not here to debate that, but Guitar Hero tried to make a comeback 10 years ago, ironically, and it did its thing, and then went. Nothing else. Like, I think even when Rock Band did a revival, I think it had at least another year, of doing an iteration, but even that didn't last that long. So the fact that they're coming out and doing like a spiritual successor and a rhythm-based game is intriguing, and like it's got all the veterans and Red Octane advisors, a lot of it. So it's backed by people who have been in this space. It's not just people who grew up as fans of Guitar Hero who haven't made or who haven't dabbled in rhythm games. But the question I pose to you, Zach, is in 2025, or it'll get revealed, but probably not come out next for another year or two. Do you think in the mid 2020s, do rhythm games still hold a space in the gaming sphere, and two, is it needed?
I think it will hold a place, because I look over at Beat Saber and how well Beat Saber has done, and like the knockoffs of it in the VR space. Is it needed? I don't know. It's one of those things. Amy brings it. It sounds interesting, but I don't know if it'd feel like the old Guitar Hero games.
Right.
I think if you make it too complicated, and like the peripheral game is very hard to sell in this day and age. Back then we had Guitar Hero, it was the first of its kind, and then you had Rock Band, where you got the whole instruments. You had bass, guitar, voice, all of that, and drums, and it was just one of those moments where you also had Skylanders, you also had Disney Infinity, like you had all of these things where you were getting these things. Like, we have never seen gaming it like that before, except for some older Nintendo stuff with like Duck Hunt and all of that, and it was basic at that. But I think in this day and age, it's like you've got to make it where it's interesting. It can't just be another, oh, well, this is Guitar Hero Lite, or this is Guitar Hero in 2026 or whatever. Like, there has to be something that's going to catch people's attention. It's got to be cost effective. I think that is the biggest thing that is going to be the differentiator in all of this. Is people are not going to spend like they did back in 2015, back in 2012 or whatever, on plastic instruments that actually don't make a sound. Even Rocksmith, where you were learning how to play guitar, nobody's doing that either. So it's like, you've got to do this in a way that, does it work with the old stuff? Does it is it VR? Is it, like, how are you doing this? Is it like Amplitude? I love Amplitude. Amplitude is a great game. It's like, how are you going to do that and get around it? I love DJ Hero as well. Like, DJ Hero is definitely an underrated game, but I just don't know how they're going to do it and make it interesting and cost effective for the consumer.
So, and that's my point. That's, some of my similar thoughts as well. The peripherals are going to be a huge thing. And, again, with everything going up, and again the dreaded tariffs, looking out, on the outer sphere. How much will this impact? Because obviously they're not going to make it in house. They're going to have a lot of the parts imported, so it's going to cost even more of an arm and a leg than it normally does. So, and again, like you said, like, does this, like, do you want to take up space in your house, with this? And like, again, obviously kids will be kids and they're interested in things for like 5 minutes and then they go on to the next thing. I mean, with TikTok, it's made it even worse for the holding their attention span. So it's like you spend upwards of $250, like depending on what kind of bundle you have or what bundles they will have with this rhythm game. And they'll play it, you get it for Christmas, birthday, they play it for like a month or two, then it just sits there in the corner collecting dust, you never play it again. Or if you're a fan, if you grew up on those and like, you wanted to give it to your kids and then your kids don't play it, you might find more enjoyment out of it. It's like, hey, they're not using it. Well, let me just, I just feel like strumming it up a little bit or what have you. You might get more of a enjoyment out of it than your kids. But again, how much practicality will you get from this?
To go off of that point, Derek, I bought Rock Band 2 back in like 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
When it came out. It was 2015. And I remember it was like, oh my God, Rock Band 2. I'm excited for it. I set it up and then I invited my staff over to play one night and we all played. We had a great time.
Mm-hmm.
How many times, Derek, do you think I played it after that?
None.
Exactly.
Wow.
I spent $200 something on all of this and played it one night and that was it.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was interested in it, but like, I didn't, I wasn't a kid anymore. Right. I didn't have the time to just sit there and play through songs and all of that. And, it's not a knock on the game or anything. It's just,
Your taste changed.
Yeah. My taste changed and it just didn't scratch the itch. It wasn't the same at that point. Right. It's like, I just had different priorities in life, but to the point where you were making on like attention span, there was I think it was New York Times study that was done that people's attention spans are actually less than a goldfish now.
Wow, that's
a goldfish has a longer attention span than we do because of how we consume media and everything.
Right.
Goldfish has 9 seconds. We have 8 or less on our attention span.
Sad.
Yeah. So I hope that they will do awesome on this. I'm curious what it will be, but I'm not going to hold my breath, for it to be something, that I'm going to invest in.
Right.
But only time will tell. And it looks like I got to start showing reels to my goldfish. I guess so. We gotta make them dumber. We're not going to be able to make ourselves smarter or attention spans better.
We just bring everyone else down to our level.
Exactly. And you can help by bringing people down to your level by making sure to subscribe to the Nerd Cave Newz on podcast services of your choice, and of course here on YouTube. It helps us out a ton. And let's jump into the next story.
I don't know how people should take your tie-in, by the way.
I was like, I have to have some sort of segue here.
Right.
Nintendo announces U.S. price rises for original Switch, warns price rises for Switch 2 games, and the NSO membership may be necessary in the future.
So Nintendo just raised the U.S. prices for all original Switch models, including the standard Switch, Switch OLED, and Switch Lite, along with some accessories like Joy-Cons and even quirky items like the Nintendo Sound Clock Alarmo. These changes took effect on August 3rd, and are due to what Nintendo calls, quote, market conditions. The new prices now sit at $340 for the original Switch, $400 for the OLED, and $230 for the Switch Lite. Accessories also went up slightly, with Joy-Cons increasing by about $5 and Alarmo jumping by around $10. The main reason? Tariffs. The new U.S. tariffs on imports from Vietnam, China, and Japan, where many of Nintendo's products are manufactured, have made it more expensive to get these consoles onto U.S. shelves. Nintendo has already tried to sidestep this by moving production to Vietnam, but the new tariffs hit there too, so prices had to go up. Importantly, this price bump doesn't include the upcoming Switch 2, at least not yet. But Nintendo has warned that as costs continue to shift, prices for the Switch 2, its games, and even Switch Online memberships might need to increase in the future. Now, it didn't really talk about the quote may be necessary in the future for this. Now, maybe the price increase, like maybe they're talking about like the price increase for the Switch 2 game, the games, and the Switch Online may be necessary. But I hope they're not. I hope I'm just reading it wrong, and because the way I read it originally was the Switch Online membership might be necessary. It's like, okay, it's kind of already is, but
I'm just like, how is U.S. tariffs on an online service
right,
getting affected by price increases?
because you're not importing anything.
Yeah, you're not importing, like it's literally being like on American servers here, because we do have Nintendo America.
Right.
I want to point this out. The Nintendo OLED, which is $400, is $50 cheaper than the Nintendo Switch 2 right now.
Fair.
Do you think that this is also a move to push people to adopt the new system?
Maybe yes, because it's like, oh, like I could buy a Switch OLED or spend an extra $50 and get a Switch 2 that's going to be getting new games and games exclusively only on that system and more frequently down the future. So I think in a way, yes, but also I think it's more of a fact that Nintendo's like, hey, we want to keep these older models going because people want a cheaper option, or maybe people don't have access to a Switch 2 as frequently in certain places of the country as other people do. So maybe it's like we keep this up as an option, but we have to increase the price to get the parts. I don't know. I think it's a twofold thing, but also again, like they warn you, it's like, oh, the more concerning thing is the game price increase, because it's already like the games are already expensive enough. Right?
Yeah.
Increasing it even more is almost going to offset you. Like no matter if you're buying a Switch 2, like people, it's like, okay, cool. Like we just saw like insane attach rates for Mario Kart World on the Switch 2. But if you raise the games, is like people are going to buy that as frequently outside of the bundle.
Yeah, it's like when you raise prices of games, that means less people are going to buy multiple games.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you might be making more per game, but if you are not selling as big of a volume, you're essentially cutting your nose to spite your face. I do want to point out this Nintendo Switch was released 8 years and 5 months ago. The Switch Lite was 5 years and 10 months ago, and the OLED was 3 years and 10 months ago. And now we're getting price increases on these. And it's like, how many of these Switches are sitting in stores that are about to bump up that haven't been imported?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's been sitting on the shelves, and now they're going to get bumped up to these new prices just because they're the new Switches, or they have the right name and whatever, right SKUs. And it's like, that seems kind of crappy. Maybe it should be anything that's imported from that date forward gets bumped up, but
true,
it's not going to work that way.
No,
I don't know, dude. Nintendo is making a lot of decisions right now that really are anti-consumer. Let's just be honest.
Again, I wouldn't even say this is a weird Nintendo decision. I think this is just a sleazy Nintendo decision.
Yeah. Well, and it's like if you look at the people that are running Nintendo after Iwata passed away, they are not people that have developed games, that care about games, they are suits. They are
Right.
absolute suits. And you see that in all the choices that they've made since they've taken over. And I'm talking about after the Switch is launched, you started seeing more and more of these decisions with Nintendo Online, how much that turned into, oh, we're going to charge more and more for that. And we're going to release this. And, oh, well, there used to be sales on Nintendo games. They don't do that anymore.
Nope.
Nothing goes on sale anymore. So it's like they've gone to this extreme where they're only about the bottom dollar. They're not about the consumer. They're not about having fun. They're about making as much money as they possibly can and squeezing us like a rag and trying to get every drop out. Exactly. Yeah. And to Amy's point, yeah, they can't use tariff excuses for everything. This is the new COVID excuse.
I was gonna say, like, she's right, but do we not remember the COVID excuse? Like every time, it's like everyone's like, when stuff gets delayed or stuff doesn't work, it's like, oh, COVID, oh, we're still battling COVID. I'm like, it's 2022. How much battling are you still doing, my guy? Like,
yeah. And to Nate's point, this is the first time I've ever seen an older system go up in price as well.
but don't worry, you'll get a price increase, but the trade-in value at GameStop will go down.
Yeah.
So,
well, and it's like you think about it. Usually, and again, I know tariffs are getting impacted on different things, but how long have they been making the switch? Again, I said like 8 years. And we're going to increase it. I know you're using less expensive parts because you've been able to figure out different things on that. You're, have the manufacturing down. There's no R&D on this stuff at this point.
Right.
It is completely, other than the stuff that is taking to make them and ship them, you're making pure profit at this point.
Correct.
And the thing that gets me the most is how many people are going to be like, oh, well, $450 is a lot.
Yeah.
So I should just buy the Switch 2 for Johnny this Christmas, or the Switch, because it's a little bit cheaper. You know what I mean? And it's like the Switch can't even keep 30 frames per second.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's choppy as all get out. All the Pokemon suck on it because like it can't handle the strain of it. Nope. And I don't know, like this decision again, I goes back to it's being ran by suits. There's not many like developers, publishers, like first party, whatever, that are actually run by people that care about video games, that are the big decision makers anymore.
Right. So all they want to do is, it's pretty much run by the accountants. It's like, we can make this much money and be okay. So
yeah, and I've heard it said, anytime the accountants start running things, that's when you've lost the soul of what you're trying to do. Unfortunately,
it's all by numbers and dollar signs.
Yeah, and you can't make informed decisions by just looking at numbers. Okay, because you could look at somebody like, let's say it's a basketball team, Derek. You could look at them and you see
the whole analytics debate.
Yeah, the analytics debate is like, oh, well, such and such got 30 points and you only made 5 points.
Right.
And it could be they were, getting
dishing out assists, rebounds,
dishing out assists, or they were part of a play, like they were just playmakers, and they were not the person that got the assist, but they were the person to throw the pass to the person that got the assist, or they're, blocking, or they're setting up screens or whatever. And it's like you can't, like, numbers don't fully justify everything.
Nope.
And it's just sad. They're like land sharks, except with game sharks, if you will. Game Shark. Game Shark were so dope. Did you have a Game Shark, Derek?
I did.
Which one? Which one did you have?
Gosh.
Add the one for the PlayStation 1.
Oh no. I think the one I had was on a handheld. I think it was on the Game Boy Advance SP. So
Nice. Yeah, my friend had one for the Game Boy. And like we're able to like get 99 rare candies and 99 master balls
Oh,
and
I
all of
remember
that.
hacking it to where like I would teach my Pokemon moves that were not in their moveset. Like I would teach a bug Pokemon. Like I remember teaching Heracross like Lugia's ultimate move, and I'm Aeroblast, and I'm just like, cool, why not? And then what was even better was when that Pokemon Stadium and Stadium 2 were a big thing. And I took that thing of Silver, the hacked version of Silver, uploaded to Stadium. My brother was like, wait, this doesn't make sense. I'm like, it's not supposed to make sense.
You're about to learn today.
So yeah, I taught my Starmie Fire Blast, and I can take out your grass type. Get over
it. Nate said, never had one, but a friend had one for N64. Dan says, I used it on Metroid Prime Hunters to see through walls and stuff. Ooh, that's smart. Yeah, I remember using it on Cool Borders 2.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody had like SSX Tricky. Like Cool Borders was way better in my opinion than SSX, my opinion. But yeah, Cool Borders, and then of course Driver, which was kind of like the predator of like the third person GTA. Siphon Filter. Like so many good times, guys, so many good times. And you know what else is a good time? The Patreon quick hits. Because the Patreon quick hits are brought to you by our wonderful patrons. The Patreon quick hits couldn't come to you without these patrons. So go support the Nerd Cave by getting your very own Nerd Cave membership to help us continue to make awesome shows like this one, Eat, Sleep, Anime, and so many more cool things. Because, guys, it's hard out there.
It's going to get harder.
It's going to get harder. And it helps us be able to make content like this each and every week. So become part of the ship, part of the crew by going to the patreon.com/nerdcave and getting a membership that works best for your budget. Now it's time for the Patreon quick hits.
Starting off, we're going to get some Battlefield 6 info dump. Battlefield 6 release date officially set for October 10th with an open beta for this weekend, the 9th and 10th. So that starts in 2 days. And then next weekend from the 14th through the 17th. Vincent Pella says Battlefield 6 is a spiritual successor to Battlefield 3 and 4. Don't expect Battlefield 6 to come out on Switch 2. EA confirms Battlefield 6 is getting a Battle Royale. Battlefield 6 multiplayer to feature skill-based matchmaking focusing on 4 key areas. Dykes confirms that Battlefield 6 will run at 60 frames a second in performance mode across all consoles. Dykes also confirms that Battlefield 6 on consoles will support mouse and keyboard. Battlefield Bad Company 2 was a huge inspiration for Battlefield 6, says producer. Battlefield 6 will use bots if there's not enough players to fill its servers for a match. And right now, there's a huge queue to get into the Battlefield 6 open beta before it's even out, with right now over 40,000 people waiting. Now, on to the rest of them. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag voice actor reveals Ubisoft to threaten to sue him over remake hints. Rumor, Starfield is coming to PS5 in spring of next year alongside the game's second expansion. MasterCard denies it pressured Steam and itch.io to delist adult games. EA isn't considering The Sims 5 right now because it's not player-friendly to expect fans to give up all of the content that they've purchased over the years. Switch 2 sells more than 6 million in the 7 weeks since launch, and Nintendo says demand has surpassed their expectations. Guilty Gear Strive DLC character Lucy from Cyberpunk Edgerunners can quick hack like she's in Cyberpunk 2077. Turtle Beach, a name we haven't heard of in quite a while, has a new Victrix Pro controller for PS5 and Xbox. Tekken 8 confirms October 16th release date for Armor King. Silent Hill F writer confirms the game will feature 5 endings in a new game plus mode. Bloober Team confirms New Game Plus mode for Chronos: The New Dawn. Apex Legends TV/film adaptation possible as EA is pretty motivated to expand the franchise beyond games. Apex Legends Showdown adds Legends Amps, Elite Weapons, and Wildcard mode. Marvel Token Fighting Souls closed beta confirmed for September 5th through the 7th. Microsoft celebrates Rare's 40th anniversary with a limited edition controller and a Sea of Thieves virtual hat weeks after Everwild cancellation. Call of Duty QA workers win first union contract with Microsoft after 3 years. Dynasty Warriors Origins set for large-scale DLC, and Koei Tecmo announces mystery remaster of a classic series title. Amid Metroid Prime 4 Beyond delay rumors, Nintendo recommits to a 2025 launch. EA has a few unannounced games based on Disney IP in the pipeline beyond Star Wars Jedi 3. GTA 6 price expected to hit $100, analyst Michael Patcher says. Genshin Impact is discontinuing support for the PS4 version, beginning with its removal from the PlayStation Store this fall. Power Rangers are coming to Fortnite in the next season. Darksiders 4 has been announced with a teaser trailer and continues where the original Darksiders game left off. Lost Soul Aside goes gold and is on track for its August 29th release date. Media Molecule co-founder David Smith announces his departure. Former BioWare executive producer breaks down what really happened to Anthem. And lastly, as a sort of a breaking news earlier today, Xbox has canceled Contraband, their first-party partnership game with Avalanche Studios. And, Zach texted me with that earlier before we hopped on. And I'm like, at first it was like, oh man, another game canceled in the Microsoft portfolio. But at the same time, because all we got more of a reveal for it than Bioshock 4 at this point, because it's not just hearsay. We got at least a title card with it. But again, we haven't seen it since its title card
4 years
reveal.
ago.
Yeah, 4 years ago. And it's like, cool. I didn't in the back of my head, since we hadn't seen it for so long, my thoughts just like Everwild, like when Everwild got canceled, like that was more of a hit because Rare was trying to do something different. And it was their first game post Sea of Thieves. So, but again, Contraband was just like, we didn't really see anything. We saw more of Everwild than we did this game. So it wasn't a surprise that it canceled it. It's more of a hit on Avalanche than it is Microsoft in this instance.
Yeah. Well, and Avalanche, for the ones that don't know, this is like the Just Cause and Rage 2 developers. Just Cause 3, Just Cause 4. I'm assuming they did 1 and 2 as well.
Probably.
But those are the last games that they've done. And
I think they also did the Mad Max game, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
I think they did. I'm looking. Yep, Avalanche, which I know you really enjoyed. Colin Moriarty really enjoyed as well.
Yep.
Derek, as we wrap this one up,
mm-hmm.
and I want everybody to sound off in chat, do you think, realistically, base game, I'm talking about not bells, whistles, shark cards, or anything like that, do you think GTA 6 will be $100 at launch?
I think, again, because we talked about it when Nintendo Switch 2 unveiled everything with Mario Kart World being $80, supposedly 90. The rumors were 90, but that kind of got quelled, but it was $80 at launch, like full on, like, and again, it's not just because GTA 6 is going to be more expensive because it's going to have more in it. It's just because there's Rockstar slapping their name on it and they know you'll buy it and they know they will make money hand over fist. So do I expect, will I be shocked when they officially unveil, like when they do the release date and the price point? No, but will it still be less of a discuss? No, it won't. It's just like, yeah, I expected, but you're still sleazy for doing it. So
yeah,
at this point, because we haven't talked about in a while, like I know there was, when it first came out, it was like rumors all like for a couple weeks in a row, and then it's kind of quelled since then. But now this is picking up because it's kept being the point of emphasis, and like people keep bringing it up as a focal point. It'll be $100 guaranteed.
Like looking at the industry and everything, it makes sense that it could be $100. But we also saw EA walk back Outer Worlds 2 being 80 back down to 70 because of fan backlash. I
You mean
think what we're
Bethesda?
going,
Or no,
yeah, but that
Obsidian, sorry.
Obsidian, yeah, sorry, Obsidian. So I think this is what's going to happen. This is my prediction here.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to announce it for $100.
Mm-hmm.
It might not be. It might be 80. Whatever they announce it, people are going to go ballistic if it's over $70.
Oh, for
And
sure.
they're going to pitch a fit. It's going to be way more than what we saw with Outer Worlds 2. And that's when we're either going to see Rockstar do what I think Rockstar will do and hold firm on it,
Mm-hmm.
or they walk it back knowing it's like, hey, we'll give them this win. Because, dude, let's say they charge $100,
Mm-hmm.
but that $100 takes them, like, let's say 5% of people that would buy at 70 won't buy it at 100.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of money.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it's like, do you go for less in the upfront, kind of like game consoles,
True.
and get people hooked on the online side?
Yeah.
You know what they've been doing? They've been printing money. So
I was gonna say, because you'll get that back in triple on shark cards alone.
yeah. So I'm like, it's one of those double-edged swords. It's like I can see Rockstar because they normally don't cave to demands,
Right.
but I could also see, like, if I was in the board meetings and making the decision, I'd be like, hey, if we lose 5% just because we're wanting $30 more, we're going to lose more money.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, we're going to more than make it up on our online side of things, people buying bucks and all of that, shark cards and that sort of deal.
Right.
So it's like, let's keep it at 70. Let's surprise people and let's
Mhm.
make that bank.
Right. So, and again, I agree with you in the sense of you could see it go either way. I'm more leaning toward the side of they can just put out 100 and it's like, yeah, we'll get backlash, but I think they'll take more of like a conservative approach where it's just like, yeah, you'll complain about it, but then you'll just go on to the next thing a week later.
Oh,
or
yeah.
or it's just like you'll still buy it because we're Rockstar, and it's like you want to be part of the the FOMO crowd. If you're I think they could easily take the more bullish approach and just be like, I mean, don't buy it. Cool, we'll still make money. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
even if you don't buy it, we'll still make the money that we lost from you in online shark cash or whatever it is. So I don't know. Like, I hope they take that more consumer friendly approach, even though they know they'll make that money back from online. But I also see them being like, whatever.
Yeah. Dan says, I hope not, but I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
Michael says, I could see it being more and Rockstar blaming it on tariffs. Yeah, like we're definitely going to see tariffs be the,
oh, we had to import some stuff. So
the boogeyman
right.
of everything. It's like, and also it's like most games are just digital now. It's like,
Right.
how are you importing? We already kind of hit that. It's like, you can't say you're importing something when I bought it digitally.
Correct.
Anyway, well, that's it, everybody, for the Nerd Cave News. We hope that you enjoyed it. We'll be back next week with more awesome content. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and go over and support us over on patreon.com/nerdcave. It helps us out so much, even on the free tiers. Guys, go support, go show all the love, all the places, and make sure to check out our awesome Eat Sleep Anime content that we're putting out as well. We love you. This has been Zach.
And Derek.
Y'all have a blessed week. Bye-bye.